Have you ever felt a deep, unexplained sadness, or an intense fear that seems to have no root in your own life? These feelings, seemingly out of nowhere, might be echoes of the past. They could be signs of intergenerational trauma, the pain of our ancestors carried within us. Intergenerational trauma is the transmission of trauma's impact. It passes from one generation to the next. This trauma can be emotional, psychological, or even physical. It lives on in the families, shaping the lives of those who come after. Imagine a family tree. Now picture a storm hitting that tree, leaving behind damage. Even though new branches grow, the scars of the storm remain. Intergenerational trauma is like this storm. It leaves its mark on families long after the initial event has passed. Understanding this type of trauma is crucial. It's the first step toward healing the wounds of the past and creating a brighter future for ourselves and generations to come. By acknowledging the impact of our ancestors' experiences, we can begin to heal and break free from these invisible chains. Trauma changes us. It impacts our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, but its effects don't stop there. Trauma has a ripple effect, extending its reach across generations. How does this happen? Imagine a child witnessing a traumatic event. This event might be a war, a natural disaster, or violence within the family. The child, ill-equipped to process the experience, carries the emotional weight of the trauma. This unresolved trauma can then be passed down in many subtle ways. Parents might unconsciously repeat negative patterns of behavior. They might struggle to provide emotional support or create an unstable home environment. Children, in turn, learn to cope with this instability, often developing their own emotional and psychological challenges. Think of it like this. Trauma is like an unwelcome inheritance. It gets passed down through families, impacting each generation in different ways. But unlike material possessions, this inheritance can be difficult to identify and even harder to refuse. Intergenerational trauma often manifests in subtle ways. It can be challenging to recognize, often masquerading as personal struggles or personality traits. However, there are some common signs that might indicate its presence in your life. One of the most common symptoms is unexplained anxiety or fear. This anxiety might feel out of proportion to your current circumstances. You might experience panic attacks, phobias, or a general sense of unease. Another sign is a persistent feeling of sadness or depression. This sadness can be deep-rooted, making it difficult to experience joy or find meaning in life. You might feel hopeless, lost, or disconnected from others. Relationship problems are also common. You might find it challenging to form healthy, secure attachments. You might struggle with trust, intimacy, or experience recurring patterns of conflict in your relationships.
I was always plagued by anxiety and panic attacks. I couldn't pinpoint the cause of my fear, as my own life had been relatively stable and secure. However, as I delved into my family history, a hidden trauma emerged. My grandmother had survived a devastating earthquake that claimed the lives of many loved ones. This trauma, though never discussed openly, had cast a long shadow on our family. My mother, raised in the aftermath of this tragedy, struggled with anxiety herself, unconsciously passing down her fears and insecurities to me.
Sarah's story is not unique. Countless individuals carry the weight of their ancestors' pain without even realizing it. The legacy of silence, often maintained to protect future generations, can inadvertently perpetuate the cycle of trauma. Section 5. The Science of Transmission Evidence and Research Findings. The impact of intergenerational trauma is not just a theory, it's backed by scientific evidence.
Studies have shown that trauma can actually alter our genes, making us more susceptible to its effects. One compelling example is the study of Holocaust survivors and their descendants. Researchers found that descendants of Holocaust survivors had higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, even though they had not personally experienced the horrors of the Holocaust.
This suggests that the trauma experienced by their ancestors had a direct impact on their own physiological responses to stress. These findings highlight the profound and lasting impact of trauma, demonstrating how it can echo through generations, influencing our biology and shaping our experiences. The science is clear. Intergenerational trauma is real and its effects are far-reaching. Section 6. Breaking the chains. Healing from intergenerational trauma. The good news is that intergenerational trauma can be healed. While the past cannot be changed, we have the power to rewrite our future stories. Breaking free from this cycle begins with awareness and understanding.
The first step is acknowledging the presence of intergenerational trauma in your life. This might involve exploring your family history, talking to older relatives, or seeking professional guidance from a therapist specializing in trauma. Once you've identified potential sources of trauma, you can begin to process and heal from its impact.
This might involve various therapeutic approaches, such as talk therapy, EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or somatic experiencing, which focuses on releasing trauma stored in the body. Section 7. Family Systemic Therapy, a path to understanding and resolution. Family systemic therapy offers a powerful approach to healing intergenerational trauma.
This type of therapy views the family as a system, recognizing that individuals are interconnected and influenced by each other's experiences. In family systemic therapy, the focus is not just on the individual, but on the dynamics and patterns within the family unit.
By understanding how trauma has shaped family relationships, communication styles, and roles, individuals can begin to heal old wounds and create healthier patterns of interaction. This approach can be particularly helpful in addressing the legacy of silence often associated with intergenerational trauma.
By creating a safe and supportive space for open communication, family members can begin to share their stories, process their emotions, and find support in each other.
Section 8. Reclaiming your life steps towards personal transformation. Healing from intergenerational trauma is a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing process of self-discovery, growth, and transformation.
Here are some key steps you can take to reclaim your life and break free from the past. 1. Educate yourself. Learn as much as you can about intergenerational trauma. Understanding its dynamics, symptoms, and treatment options can empower you to take control of your healing journey.
2. Seek professional help. A therapist specializing in trauma can provide invaluable guidance and support. They can help you identify patterns of trauma in your life, develop coping mechanisms, and work towards healing old wounds.
3. Practice self-care. Make time for activities that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. This might involve exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or engaging in creative pursuits.
Section 9. A brighter future. The power of healing for generations to come. Healing from intergenerational trauma is not only about healing ourselves, it's also about creating a brighter future for generations to come. By breaking the cycle of trauma, we can create a legacy of healing, resilience, and emotional well-being. When we heal ourselves, we also heal our families. By addressing our own emotional wounds, we become better equipped to provide our children with the love, support, and security they need to thrive. We break the cycle of negative patterns and create a more positive and nurturing environment for future generations. Imagine a world where the pain of the past no longer dictates the present or future. By healing from intergenerational trauma, we contribute to creating a world where individuals, families, and communities are free to reach their full potential. Section 10. Embracing hope. You are not alone on this journey. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Millions of people around the world are affected by intergenerational trauma. By reaching out, connecting with others, and seeking support, you can find strength and hope in knowing that you are not alone. Healing from intergenerational trauma is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It's a journey of courage, self-discovery, and ultimately liberation. By embracing hope and taking steps towards healing, you can break free from the past and create a brighter future for yourself and generations to come.